Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select subject tab, scroll down to grade 9 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter numbers. The lessons we're going to cover today are square roots, cube roots, and classify number. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Okay, here I am on grade 9. Right now is numbers. Let's just start with the lesson, that is square roots. Let's just start with the lesson. What is square root 25? So square root means you need to find out the number that is multiplied by itself equals 25, right? So which number multiplied by itself equals 25? So 5 times 5 is 25. That is 5 square. 2 and square root cancel out. That is 5. So square root 25 is 5. Let's just start with the test questions. What is plus minus square root 64? So you need to find a number that when multiplied, the answer is 64. So which number is it? That is 8 times 8, right? We can write it as 8 square. So 2 and square root cancel out each other. We are left with 8. Like plus minus 8, positive 8 and negative 8. Option number 2 is the correct option, 8 and negative 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is square root 1? So square root of 1 is 1, right? We already have a negative sign outside, so that would negative 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the negative square root of 49? So that would be negative 7 because 49 is the 7 times 7 makes 49. What is plus minus square root 81? So 9 times 9 is 81, right? Option number 1 is the correct option. Positive 9 and negative 9. Option 1 is the correct option. What is plus minus square root 25? That would be positive and negative 5, right? Because 5 times 5 is 25. Option number 2 is the correct option. Option 1 is the correct option. It would be positive 9 and negative 9. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. What are the positive and negative square root of 36? That is 6 and negative 6. Option number 2 is the correct option because 6 times 6 is 36. What is square root 4? What is square root 4? What is square root 4? That would be 2 times 2, so square root 4 is, yes, 2 it is. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the positive square root of 1? Yes, square root 1 is 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is square root 25? So 5 times 5 is 25. We can write it as 5 square, 2 and square root cancel out, so we are left with 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. 5 it is. Okay, we are done with the lesson. I think we've finished this lesson also. So let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is cube roots. Let's just start with the lesson. That is, what is cube root of 27? Now we need to find the cube root. So cube root means you need to multiply a number 3 times, right? So to find the cube root of 27, we need to figure out which number multiplied by itself and then multiplied by itself again equals 27, right? So the number multiplied itself 3 times. So that is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9 and 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, let's just start with the test. Okay, what is the cube root of 125? So we need to find out the number that multiplied by itself three times, right? So that is 5 times 5 times, because 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 5 is 27. Sorry, 125. So we can write it as 5 cube. So we are left with 5 cube root and and cube root and 3 would be cancelled out. So we are left with just 5. So option number 2 is the correct option. What is the cube root of 1? So square of 1 is 1, cube root of 1 is also 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. The square cube root of 0 is 0. What is the cube root of 64? So which is the correct option? Cube root of 64 is That is 4. The cube root of 64 is 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the cube root of 27? That is 3 times 3 is 9 and 9 times 3 is 27. Option 2 is the correct option. What is cube root of 1000? So the cube root of 1000 is 10 times 10 times 10. Option number 2 is the correct option. 10 it is. Option 2 is the correct option. That is 10. What is the cube root of 8, which is the correct option? That is 2 times 2 times 2. So option number 2 is the correct option. 2 it is. What is the cube root of 64? So which is the correct option? That is 4. 4 times 4 is 64 and 64 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. What is the cube root of 1? Cube root of 1 is 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the cube root of 125? So cube root of 125 is 5 times 5 is 25 and 25 times 5 is 125. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just move on to next lesson. That is classifying numbers. Which of the following are real numbers? The numbers we are given are pi, 9 by 2, 1.541, and 5 by 4. You need to see which of them are the real numbers. So pi cannot be written in the fractional form. So pi is a as an irrational number, right? So real numbers include irrational numbers. So pi is also an irrational number, right? Then 9 over 2. 9 over 2 is a rational number since real numbers include rational numbers, right? So rational numbers are included in real numbers. So 9 by 2 is also a real number. So 1.541 is also a real number and 5 by 4 is also a real number. So they all are real numbers. Let's just start with the test questions. Which of the following describes 7? Real number, integer, natural number, whole number. So 7 is a real number, integer it is, natural number and whole number. So which of the following describe 7? So 7 is all of the above. The real number, the integer, natural number and the whole number. So all of the above is the correct option. Which of the following is a natural number? So which is the correct option? So root 3, 1, pi and negative 1 whole 4 by 5. So which is the correct option? Which of the following is a natural number? Q square root 3, 1, pi negative 1, whole 4 by 5. So the natural number option number B is the correct option. Which of the following is an integer? So which is the correct option? Integer. Negative 4 is an integer. Option number C is the correct option. B? Yes, negative B. So B is the correct option. Negative 4 is an integer. Is negative 5 an integer? Yes, it is. All the whole numbers with the negative signs are the integers. So yes, negative 5 is an integer. Option number 1 is the correct option. Yes, it is. Is 2 by 5 a real number? Yes, it is. It would be a real number. Which of the following are natural numbers? 1.292, pi, 5 and 8. So which is the correct option? Five and 8 are the natural numbers. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself here today. So we were working on grade 9 math. Chapter we are working on is numbers. The lessons we have covered. The lessons we have covered today are they are square roots, cube roots, and classify numbers. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So, any questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.